Welcome to another edition of Big Ben and Ty's Sports Cave with your host, this time, Ben, co-host Ty. And the reason why I sat away this time is because we're going to be talking about racing. But to get some information for the Rivermen, we'll let Ty go ahead and do that right now.
The Rivermen played on Sunday. They looked really a lot better than they have been in the past games. They won, I believe the score was 3-0. Jack Bostet with the shutout, and it was a good defensive game. Like I said, it was a tremendous effort throughout the whole team. I hope that's something to come for the future games. The Rivermen are actually off this weekend. They do not play this weekend. They play next weekend in Knoxville. And we'll talk a little bit more about that on Saturday's edition with Wade. But Wade had other obligations to do tonight, so I figured I would hand over the Wednesday night show to do a little bit of racing update and racing talk.
Two more weeks. It's starting in the area.
Yeah, so that way we get a little bit of racing buzz going.
Right. So with that said, again, we're going to be doing it to 5 tracks. So that way, it'll be better in our promoting the tracks, getting information on the tracks, and it not like drag on. With that said, Friday tracks, we're going to do Lincoln and Farmer City. Saturday tracks are going to do Peoria, Spoon, and Fairbury. And we are also this year going to be doing the Mars series with the late models and the modifieds, and then the Summer Nationals. But those will be done later. So for now, let's do Fairbury. Why not? Let's just do Fairbury first. That's their schedule. And I got it up over here on another screen so I can talk about it. Basically, pretty much all these tracks we're going to talk about, it's going to be this next few weeks is going to be test and tune days. But for Fairbury, it's going to be 2026 Door Busters with the Pro Late Models, Modifieds, Pro Mods, Sports, Mara, and the Crown Vics. And so that should be good. Now, the Pro Mod, correct me if I'm wrong, is going to be basically taking over the Hobby Mods now.
So Fairbury. They got rid of the Hobby Mods, and they decided to go UMP Pro Mods, which kind of screwed a couple guys in the Hobby Mods, because with the Pro Mods, you got to have a sealed 602, I believe. It's got to be on 3-bar, which is already – the Hobby Mods were already on 3-bar. But you got to have certain shocks. You can't have, high-dollar shocks. And you got to do some other things with Pro Mods. Me, personally, it wasn't worth changing my car over for that. I would have loved for them to have a B-Mod class, because B-Mods, they kind of make up their own rules, like Peoria does, and I would have been legal then, but so.
Yeah, there's just so what you're saying is there's just too much to change over to.
Yeah, I mean, the cost I wouldn't have justified the cost, because I can go over to Peoria and run for basically the same purse and wouldn't have to spend any more money changing over cars. So, but looking at this schedule, Ben, it's keep getting more and more special shows. It's like Fairbury only has like what, 1, 2, like I want to say 5 regular nights of racing or something like that.
I'm guessing, because like here it's like the first 2 days in April, or April 3rd and April 24th is 2 specials. Then May 7th and 5th. So it's like every other weekend they're having some kind of special.
Yeah.
Because like in April 24th, I know you don't like them, but they're having a big, huge Hornet challenge with the Hornet race cars there. Then you got Mower Sprints coming on June 5th. Then you got the Summer Nationals 2 weeks later. Then you got 305 sprint cars and vintage race cars in July 17th. Then you got one that's called Logan County Fair Night of Thunder, which is another race. And then you got the Fall Nationals and then the Prairie Dirt. And
so where do you see the Hornet special at again?
Oh, wait a minute. That's Lincoln. Why am I showing Lincoln?
Fuck. Well, you got Fairbury up there right now.
Oh, shit. Wrong one. There we go. Now I see it.
That's what I was kind of confused about.
Disregard. Hey, guys, I was in a rush because I've been up real early in the morning. I know it's not an excuse, but with the change of weather, it made my back just spasm in the middle of the night. I've been up all night. So anyway, sorry about that, folks. Disregard everything I just said. But yeah, I'm seeing it right here now. 9, 16th, 23rd, 30th of May. It's all like Triple Crown, Lucas Oil, Bob and Pappy Allen.
Like I said, Fairbury has so much specials now. It's crazy.
Illinois Dirt Shootout. I mean, it's still good. But
yeah, it's just crazy how they've gotten so special oriented over there at Fairbury.
Yeah, I mean, I like specials, but at the same time, with the regular Joe, $25, they can't afford that every weekend.
Yeah,
or even every other weekend, really.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch going on, but like I said, all the tracks are going to be in the next couple of weeks is test and tune nights.
Yeah.
So now I will actually go to another one that I won't forget about. Not that one. That one. Spoon River. Now they got practice all of April. First regular race is May 2nd. Then they're doing a flow night and racing, a Gary Cook Memorial, Power Eye 410 sprints, and then the Plowboy Nationals in September. So it looks like they're doing a lot of regular racing there with dirt track car late models, modifieds, dirt track 4-cylinders, E-mods, kids mods. And yeah. So that's a Spoon. Now we'll go to Peoria. Now this is a track that I probably will be going to quite a bit because A, it's literally right down the road from me. But theirs is this, like again, open practice, and they're having the season opener with Crown Vics. Then all of April is all specials. There's going to be a Bailey Auckland Memorial 2000 win street stocks. There's going to be the Gary Cook Memorial with all classes and kids mods. And then the Gary Swiebold Memorial for the late models and Mars mods. So that's going to be the first Mars race of the year, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Possibly. Yeah.
We'll find out here in a little bit because I'm about to show you that. But then they got like Crown, and basically it looks like every other weekend they're going to have Crown Vics, and then that weekend that they don't have Crown Vics, they're going to have the kids mods. Because the way it sounds like, when the kids mods isn't there, it's going to be at Spoon or someone else, and then when the Crown Vics are at Peoria, it's going to be at Spoon. From what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's good that tracks kind of do that because it gives somebody a place to race.
I really liked what they did. What was it, 3-4 years ago between Peoria and Spoon? Is that Spoon was Friday night and Peoria was Saturday night. That was the most I've seen with the car count at both of those tracks when they shared the cars from both tracks.
Yeah,
but they wanted to go to Saturday again, so it is what it is. So that's Peoria. Now, we did Spoon already? Yep, we did Spoon. I'm going opposite of what I wanted to do today, but nevertheless, I don't have any flyers for Farmer City and Fairbury, or Farmer City and Lincoln. So, with that said, I will revert back to the information I gave you earlier, which was Lincoln Speedway, not Fairbury. Fairbury, they're doing the Doorbuster, the Hornet Challenge.
You mean Lincoln?
It's a long day, folks. It's a long day. And no, I haven't had any of that yet all day today because I've been that busy. It's just been... Anyway, Lincoln. Lincoln's a Friday track. It's... I think it kind of grown quite a bit since they came back. What was it? 10 years ago or so?
Yeah, something like that.
And
yeah, I think the Fair Board runs it now, I think.
It seems like they've grown quite a reputation for races there because a lot of big names go there quite a bit. I mean, Kenny Wallace, that sounds like Kenny Wallace, that's the only track he'll go to in the central Illinois area. So if you want to see Kenny Wallace races modified, then you got to go Lincoln or go down somewhere south. Especially since this is not a track we're going to promote, but it's still a track because Bel Air, down near St. Louis, they're trying to open their track again this year after it being shut down for so many years. They totally revamped the track. They revamped the whole fair. Supposedly it looks like really nice. But anyway, back to Lincoln. There's the Fall Nationals. There's the Bennett Memorial Race. That's going to be June 21st, and that's the Summer Nationals race. And we'll do more with that one, too, because it's a special race. And from what it sounds like is from last year, if you didn't know, basically the Bennetts don't charge anything. They don't charge pit pass or anything. They just get donated money and then they spread it equally throughout the classes they have that night, which I thought was pretty cool.
But it might be a little different now that it's
it might be a little bit different with Summer Nationals, yes, but
my guess is there will be a pit pass. There'll be all kinds of extra stuff because, like I said, that's Summer Nationals is a dirt car thing.
Big thing, yeah. So they'll probably want to charge. So it might be charged. We'll find out. We'll give you that information later in the season. But last but certainly not least, it's my favorite Friday track is Farmer City. They're basically open practice throughout March. And April 6th, they have one last open practice, and then the Illinois 75, aka Illini 100. I don't like calling it Illinois 100 anymore because it's not 100 laps anymore. It's 50, 75 now.
Well, I mean, it is 100 because they do a Friday Saturday show. So they do 25, I believe, on Friday, and then they do a 75 on Saturday. So technically, they still call it the Illini 100. But
so basically, the whole weekend is called Illini 100.
Yeah, the Illini 100. Now, when it first came out, when it first came out, it was a 2-night deal, but like they did kind of like the Prairie Dirt Classic. They had the heat races and everything on Friday, and then Saturday they would do the 100 lap.
Because I remember the first one that came out because, damn, my glasses. I hate glasses, everybody. Anyway, when the first one, they did the first one, I went down there during the first one. It was so cool just seeing that. And that's when the smooth operator, Billy Moyer Sr.
No. You're not calling him the smooth operator.
What's his name?
We ain't talking about him. It's Mr. Smooth.
Mr. Smooth. I knew it had to do something with smooth. I'm trying to calm down and not rush things. And
not Bobby Pierce. We're not talking about Bobby Pierce here, Ben.
he can go anyway. We'll be nice. Billy Moyer Sr. is what I'm talking about. it's just so cool because he came around that turns 3 and 4, and I kid you not, and he still broke the track record that year. And when he broke the track record, I kid you not, he smacked that wall in turn 3 and sparked it all the way around to turn 4 and just shot like a rocket and not missing a beat. And I thought that was so cool getting to see that. And I was on that corner when it happened too, so I literally was 3 feet in front of me were sparks flying. So anyway, they got the Illinois 100. They got one called the Liger Concrete Farmer City 74, where it's a Lucas Oil race.
Yep.
Then they got a Matco Tool Night, where it's 1,000 to win tool spree to late model winners. Then they're having Summer Nationals, and then just Mars races and the regular shows. So that's all the tracks we'll be doing. Now the series we'll be doing is I'll go ahead and do the Summer Nationals first. That's as of now what the Summer Nationals is going to look like. And I've known we've talked about it before, Ty and I anyway, in private and maybe on another show we did last year. And I agree with him. And it seems like, why couldn't they have all these tracks that are together be together so that way it won't be that hard on certain tracks to go, or certain drivers to go to certain tracks. Like, I'll have to blow it up more to see it, but like it goes from like Peoria, and all of a sudden it goes clear down to Brownstown, and then it goes back up to Lincoln, and then it goes over to Missouri, and then it comes back up to 2 or 3 tracks, and it's like, why couldn't they just do like a Kankakee, Fairbury, Peoria, Spoon, and then go down to like Lincoln and
the one that gets me is like the first 4 races or first 5 races I can kind of see. You know, you got the Brownstown, then you go up to Kankakee, which is basically a straight shot, then Kankakee to Peoria, and then Peoria and then you got to go all the way down to Tri-City, and then you got to come back all the way up to Fairbury. So I mean, some of that stuff, and I think somewhere I'd have to look closer. It's hard to see on my phone, but like there's one time they go to Missouri, and then they come all the way up, back up to like Farmer City or something like that, or some track around here, and then they go back down to Missouri. It's just I think
they're going to Farmer City, all the way down to Federated, back up to Lincoln, and then back down to 2 races in Missouri.
Yeah.
Another place in Benton.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
And then goes straight back up from Benton, Missouri, all the way up to Quincy.
Quincy. So I mean, I wish they would, for the guys' sake and for fuel cost, you know, like I said, the first 4 or 5, okay, I kind of get it, you know, Bullring, then the Kankakee, and then Peoria. But it would have been nice if they did like a bull to go to Brownstown, go to Kankakee, go to Peoria, then Friday night they would go to Farmer City, then Saturday night go to Fairbury, and then you know Sunday they could go to Lincoln. They could have went to Lincoln on Sunday.
Lincoln.
You know, so it's just I mean, it's tough. They call it the Hell Tour for a reason. So
and I get that part, you know. But nevertheless, that's going to be a full schedule. I can't wait for that one because that's my favorite tour. So then that's going to be on Dirt Vision, correct?
Yeah, it's going to be on Dirt Vision. Huh?
Yeah, Dirt Vision.
Yeah, if they can't make it to the track, it'll be on Dirt Vision. And I believe so all your dirt car stuff, like the World of Outlaw late models, World of Outlaw sprint cars, Summer Nationals will all be on Dirt Vision. As
And
for like Lucas Oil, Mars, and all that will be on Flow.
Mars is on Flow. Okay, that was my next question.
Yeah.
So speaking of Mars, we'll do the modifieds first. This is the modified schedule. There's the Illini 100 for Farmer City, Brownstown, Peoria, Quincy, Highland, Coles County, Fairbury, Spoon River, Paducah, Red Hill, Farmer City, Charleston, Benton, I-55, Fairbury, Spoon, I-55 again, and then Fairbury to end it out in October.
And that's what I like about their schedule, because it kind of gives them time to get to places. From Brownstown to Peoria is not a horrible drive. It's I mean, yeah, you're still driving.
This is not Brownstown, Indiana, everybody. This is Brownstown, Illinois.
Yeah, so it's not like it's a horrible. It looks like that weekend, you go to Quincy, Highland, and then Coles County. But those are actually decently close to each other too, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look on a map.
Quincy's over along the river, which is a little bit in south of us here in the Peoria area. So yeah, it's close to, those Highland and
yeah. I mean, but like look at May 23rd and 24th. You go from Fairbury to Spoon River. That's not a bad drive.
No.
Like Farmer City to Charleston. That's not a bad drive. You go to Benton, which I believe is in Missouri, and then you go straight to I-55. That's
like a hop, skip, and a jump from each other.
It's not. Yeah. So like I said, it's not like I like their schedule because it gives it's kind of like the Lucas Oil schedule. Lucas Oil doesn't run every single night. So if you tear up your car, you have a couple days before the next race to get your car ready. There's some nights where they run 2-3 nights in a row, but they don't do that all the time.
And maybe with a few dates, all of them are on the weekend too. So they got a full week for let these drivers, fix their cars up and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I like.
Yeah.
So with that said, the other Mars race is the late models. Moequa, Cedar County, 34 Raceway, Brownstown, Peoria, Quincy, Highland, Coles County, Davenport, Fairbury, Spoon, Paducah, Red Hill, Farmer City, Charleston, Sycamore, Macon, LaSalle, Benton, I-55, Farmer City, Fairbury, Peoria, Fairbury, and the Lucas Oil Speedway.
Yeah. So, look at that schedule. It's basically on Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So, I like their schedule, and they pay good money on all those races. So, and a lot of those races are like a 2-night deal. Look at Maquita or however you pronounce that. You got, I think that's a Friday, Saturday. So that's a 2-night deal. 34 Raceway, 2-night deal.
Nippy 50 at Moquita.
Yeah. So it's awesome that they added Lucas Oil in there, Lucas Oil Speedway. So yeah, I think Matt Curl is doing a wonderful job with the Mars Late Model Series.
Right. It's why I commend him for doing it, but he's not only running the Mars Series every single week when it's happening, but he's also running the Fairbury races every single week, and it just fathoms my mind how he has enough energy and time to do both of those at the same time.
And I noticed last year, with the Mars, him taking over the Mars Series, he has somebody he can trust at Fairbury to run things at Fairbury. So he can actually travel with the Mars Series a little bit too.
Right.
So I did notice that.
Yeah. Which it sounds like let's see. So, your brother. What's up, Eric?
Hey.
What's up, tire guy?
So, it's just one of those deals where, he has taken that series. I remember when it first came out, it only had maybe 10 races.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think
it was just the late models too, right?
Yeah, it was just the late models, and I believe, was it the Izzos that owned that, or I think it was the Izzos that ran it,
yeah.
or one of somebody owned it up there, and up by LaSalle, because they also ran LaSalle Speedway for a little while, but it just wasn't taking off. So when Matt decided to purchase the Mars series, I told people, I said, watch out, because honestly, I was thinking the Mars series would eventually take over the Summer National Series, because honestly, if you look at the Summer National Series, the card count has dropped dramatically when it comes to Summer Nationals.
Yeah, I have noticed that.
And with the Mars series, it seems like numbers are going up.
Right. And your brother said it was the Izzos that had it before Matt did.
So, I mean, Matt, people can say what they want about Matt, but he is one hell of a promoter. And, I mean, look what he's done with Fairbury. Fairbury is on the map. I mean, you go anywhere in the United States and you talk about a race at Fairbury, they know exactly what you're talking about. Fairbury is on the map. I mean, look what he's done for the Prairie Dirt Classic. I mean, it pays $50,000 to win.
Right.
It almost, I mean, he's almost made that show too big for the facility almost. I mean, it's just so huge of an event that, I mean, I remember when they first did the Prairie Dirt Classic for a little while, the money that was made from the Prairie Dirt Classic paid for the fair that they have, Fairbury Fair. I believe they said for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the town of Fairbury gets so much money from people coming in and camping and going up to the gas station and going up to that market that's up there. The Prairie Dirt Classic is so much for that town, and he has made Fairbury Speedway what it is today, and that's why a lot of people want to race there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I like it too. The only complaint I have is that the front stretch is further away from the stands, to where you got to literally be like 6th row and up just to see anything on the front stretch with the racing part. Other than that, I like the action. I like the way they run the track and everything else.
So, yeah, I kind of see your point. Now, Grandpa, with him being wheelchair bound, he sat down where the wheelchairs are and stuff. And yeah, I've sat down with him. When I raced there, I would come up and watch a couple races and then head back to the pits. All you do really see on the front stretch is the top of the cars. But I kind of like being, I mean, I'm even a race car driver, and I'm saying this. I don't mind being a little farther back from the track, because honestly, I don't personally like getting smacked in the head with rocks and stuff like that, which Fairbury normally doesn't have rocks.
Yeah.
But it's just, and it's safer for like kids. You see it all the time at Peoria. The kids are right up against the fence. And then, they say, get away from the fence, and then they get all mad. Well, you won't get mad when you get hit with a rock. I mean, there's rocks in Peoria Speedway. I know there is.
Oh, I know, because I've been hit by a few of them, and you know where I sit. I literally sit like 5 rows up, like right by the judges' stand, and I still.
Yeah, and I mean, go racing over there.
Right, and I get that, and it's just I like to be in the pavilion, so that way I won't get like burning up from being in the heat,
Yeah, and then that's what, I mean, me and Grandpa, when we used to go to Fairbury all the time to watch, we would sit, I think, 10 rows up, 10, 11 rows up, and it was perfect. You could see the scoreboard still. You could see everything. And like I said, I love Fairbury. Like I said, I wish I could race there. That's why I was hoping they would have B mod class and not a pro mod
Straight through.
class. But, and I mean, I guess if I get more money, I guess I can go open mod there. But that's a lot of money. I mean, I'd almost need a $50,000 motor
That's what I was
to go
about
over
to say.
there,
You need like a 40,000 motor.
and it's just not in the cards. So, like I said, I enjoy racing Peoria. I do. They've gotten a lot better over the years. The track prep has been really good. Last year they were really good about it.
Yes,
I had
I
no
will agree with you
complaints.
there.
And you still got your bull crap over there, but honestly, I just unload my car, go racing, have fun, and then load it back up. I mean, I'm not there to. I know I'm not there to turn heads and win a bunch of races. If I win one, cool. It'd be great. It'd be awesome. But it's one of those deals.
Yeah, and I get that. I mean, really, you got drama no matter what track you go to, because for the longest time over at Fairbury, especially in the street stock, you had the Thomas brothers and that other guy that always raced the street stocks. It was
Well, you had Ricky Thomas, and then you had the
Ricky
Funks.
Thomas.
You had Joel,
the Funk brothers. That's right.
I can't remember the other Funk brothers' name, but yeah, I mean they would always win, and one of the Funk brothers almost got kicked out. I mean, you're gonna have it everywhere, but it seemed like it didn't happen a lot at Fairbury because, I mean, the promoter before Matt Curl took over, he just didn't deal with it, and that's what you got to do.
Matt's not dealing with it, and from the many times we've talked and the many times that I've seen it, because I have gone to the pits during the drivers' meetings, and like you said, Matt's like, "Hey, if you don't listen to the officials in your receiver, you're automatically going to the back."
Yeah, I mean, you're going to the back, and he won't put up with crap. I mean, he tells us in the drivers' meeting, respect each other out there, and there was a couple nights where the hobby mods kind of got a little squirrely, and he pretty much told us hobby mod guys, hey, you guys need to rein it in a little bit because or you'll be gone. I mean, he's not afraid to kick people out. He's not afraid to stop classes over there because he knows he makes enough with what he has, and he knows he can make money other places. I mean, there's always opportunity for him to make money. So, he's one of the greatest promoters in the Midwest.
Right, and your brother said it earlier too. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's crazy.
Matt is the best promoter in the Midwest.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just how it is. You got, like I said, I have noticed at Peoria it's gotten a little bit better.
It is.
But
it has.
It still could be better. But like I said, I'm not gonna get on here and bash Peoria because, like I said, I race there. I
go there all the time. I just like going there, one, because it's close, but two, I actually enjoy the races there because I like bull ring races.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, people need to start kind of respecting one another on the racetrack, and it seems like you get more of that over at Fairbury. And like, you don't get that much at Peoria, you don't get that much at Spoon. I mean, you still got some guys that'll take you out, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's part of racing, it's part of what we do, and all there is to it.
And that's why a lot of drivers, no matter what track you are, they'll go to another track because they're tired of the drama that's there in their class or their division.
Yeah, I mean,
they're like for instance, Robert Cottom. He used to be dominant at Peoria. Now he's not really racing unless he really wants to. But he mainly for a while there was up at Quincy all the time instead.
Yeah, and
because he got tired of the bullshit.
And there for a little while, you had Opie, Mike Spatola. He wasn't going to Peoria. I mean, he straight up said, "I'm not racing Peoria." And then they finally talked him into coming back, and he's came back ever since. So it's just how you promote it too.
Yeah, promotion. You need to get a good promoter. Just need to have people. I mean, yeah. Like, again, every track you're going to have drama, no matter what you're going to. It's just seems like it's prevalent at one track over the other, but you just gotta. For me, anyway, I just let it go. I look at the good of it. And
yeah, and
I don't get any of the,
not
and
only
the
in
is,
the pits too.
Yeah, and I don't even get to the drama because there's times where I've seen other people get into somehow they're lumped into the drama, then all of a sudden they're getting death threats, and all they said was one opinion over something that happened there at that certain track. And
yeah, it just, I don't know. It's one of those deals where, like you said, it's more common at some tracks. And, not even in the pits, you see it in the stands. And I think that's what turns people off is when, and I'm not saying just Peoria, it's other tracks too. I think that's what turns people off of going to those tracks is because it even happens in the stands. And, some people just would like to come to the races with their kids and not have to worry about protecting them because there's a fight happening in the stands.
Yeah, and so, I've heard it at Charleston, and I've heard it at Jacksonville. I've seen heard fights at Macon. It's not just one track; it's all over. It's just, as the saying goes, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and apparently, certain tracks are the squeakier wheels, even though people are still talking about that big, huge fight that went out into the streets on Farmington Road from something that happened, 6-7 years ago when they had that big, huge fight on the front stretch?
Well, that, and you had, you had the carnival or whatever fight happening, and that has nothing to do with Peoria Speedway. It had nothing really to do with the Speedway because they had a carnival going. But the sucky part is the carnival was on Peoria Speedway's property. So of course they're gonna get linked in on that. So
unfortunately,
unfortunately, like I said, Peoria has its reputation of being, a normal fight club. That's, I mean, even, my buddies at work and stuff, they're like, "Oh, you race at Peoria, the fight club," and I'm like, "Yeah, I race Peoria." But, I try to tell them, come on down, this year with me and go in the pits with me. And it's changed. And like I said, and I want to give a shout out to somebody that's, it seems like he's doing a lot more. He has more responsibilities. Let's just say that. Right. At Peoria Speedway. And he's been doing, I mean, so far I've seen him do a wonderful job, and that's Jeff Hall. Jeff Hall has pretty much taken over, I think he's chief of operations or something like that for the track.
He's the guy that runs all the promotions on social medias and everything.
Yeah. And Jeff has done a really good job with that. When I said something on the race page, going to Peoria, and he thanked me for coming out and supporting him. And that's what I like to see. I like to see the tracks say, "Hey, thank you for coming. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for coming and racing with us. You had an opportunity to go here, but you chose us." And a lot of people don't know this, but it's a lot. It's a lot to the driver to get that message.
And another thing with him is, I even hear him on the receivers to the drivers and everybody else. He constantly remind drivers, be like, "Hey guys, thanks for coming. Just be safe. You can't win the race on the first turn, and just, things of that nature to remind the guys, the drivers, and everybody, and
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it goes a long way to thank the drivers because a lot of guys, we spend our hard-earned money on our race cars when we come, and they give us a place to do it. And like I said, they have tremendously, with all the efforts that they've done there, is starting to turn that track around, and I'm glad to see it because
right.
there were some gloomy days about Peoria Speedway. Was it going to close? Was it going to move? Was it were we going to have a place to race at in Peoria? And I'm glad they changed that. Now, we had the news with Spoon River. We didn't know what Spoon River was going to do. And I would hate to see that track go under because, I enjoyed racing down there.
Oh,
I
yeah,
really did.
I love watching races at Spoon.
Yeah, bigger track, and it helped me. I think it helped me be a little bit better driver, and I would hate to see that track go under because, my family spent many nights down there at that track, and that track is just, there's a soft spot in my heart for that track.
Just with Killer alone, how many years has he raced there? Just him?
Oh, man.
At least 30, 40 years?
Well, he started probably in the late 80s, I think, down at Spoon.
Okay.
And, and we would go full time. And they're there for a while. We would go there, we'd race maybe 3 or 4 times a year down at Spoon. And then when I kind of started racing the modified, we went down there, I think, 2 times, my first year, or 1 time. And then, yeah. And I haven't been to Spoon with the car I have now. I would like to get down to Spoon maybe a few times this year. It's just,
didn't they change a few things to where you can race there without,
so I could have raced there last year. It just didn't fall in the cards.
Right.
I can race there this year. I think I have to check on the carburetor rule.
And maybe a chip rule.
No, it's not a chip rule. It's I gotta look at their motor rules a little bit closer. Because they're not UMP. They're not UMP either in the E-mod/B mod class. They make their own rules, so I just got to make sure I'm eligible to race down there. Because, like I said, I would love to race down there, but Peoria is just so much closer for me anyway. Heck, it's an hour and 20-minute drive to Spoon from where I'm at.
Yeah, sadly.
And so that's 2 hours and 40 minutes on the road, round trip.
Spoon River Speedway E-mods.
So Peoria is about 40 minutes away. So
yeah, okay. It says right here, 602 factory sealed, can only be run on a 650 4-barrel carb or a Holley 4412 2-barrel.
Yeah.
No aerosols or Super Bowls are allowed, and no tri-Y headers. All carbs must be all go gauges. $6,500 chip. You must provide chip. No dial boxes allowed. Digital boxes are allowed only with the HEI distributor. That's what
I have. Which that's what I have. So I think I am legal at Spoon, because I have the HEI distributor with the digital, so I can switch it. A lot of times I don't go over 6,500 anyway, so that's usually where I set mine at. So
right. Now there is a 360 engine, but you can only run the 4412 Holley 2-barrel or 4-barrel with the restrictor plate from them.
Yeah.
But no 400 blocks and no choke horns. Choke horn can be removed, but no polishing.
Yeah.
Cast heads, 23 degrees. No dial boxes allowed. So basically, you're fine the way it sounds like.
Yeah. So, like I said,
For
I
the
might try
engine
to get down
portion.
to Spoon. Yeah. So I might get down to Spoon once or twice this year. Like I said, I would love to. Like I said, it all depends on how things play out. And that's what I tell people. I got a busy schedule. I mean, I'm either right now I'm doing spring hockey with my son. So, and then he's gonna start sports, and then I'm trying to remodel a house and stuff. So I think it just all depends on how my schedule is, and if I can only race Peoria, and that's where I'm gonna race at. So
Right.
it's gonna be a fun year, I think.
I'm going to reiterate a few things, and then I think I'll be done unless you got something else to say. Like I
I
said,
don't think so.
pretty much all the 5 tracks we mentioned are going to be starting testing and tuning here within the next couple weeks. And about half of those tracks will actually be starting after that, and then the rest of them will starting later in March, beginning of April. And then you got Summer Nationals, which is usually end of June through July. And then you got the Mars Series, which is throughout the year. And so it'll be a good time for racing here in Central Illinois and, well, wherever you are. And if you're watching this in another state, it's easy as just doing a search engine and search engine dirt tracks in my area. And just go to one this year. I mean, yeah, it's going to be dirty, but hey, it's a good time. And despite what we said, it is very family friendly because they do stuff for kids all the time at different tracks, like give out, promotions. Like they'll have like a kiddie run where they'll have the kids like get on the front stretch of the track and do the bat turn around, then run to pick up money, or they'll have on the front stretch the electric carts that the kids drive around in, like what you had for your kid, just different things like that. And then afterwards, the really super cool thing is afterwards, once the races are all done, the cars are all back, they let people in the pits, and you get to go there for as long as you want, just talking to all the drivers and everything. And the drivers will let the kids get in the car and play around with the cars and take photos, and very, family friendly. And they'll give out stuff to the kids, like a sticker or something. And I mean, even back in the day, years ago, I remember Wally Zander. I'm sure you remember him, right?
The banana.
He ran the banana. It literally looked like a banana. And whenever he won, he'd have these little toy bananas, and he'd throw it out to the kids over the fence. So yeah, there is going to be fights, but no matter where you go, there's always going to be fights. I mean, there's fights at football games. There's fights at hockey games. There's fights at, there's trouble, baseball games. It's just something to get kids into, and then the kid might like the racing, which in turn will keep them out of doing stupid stuff besides buying race car parts for their go-kart or something,
Yeah, like you said, I'm going to Hawaii in July, so I might see if there's a racetrack around Hawaii. I know there's a couple, but maybe I can find a track in Hawaii, and maybe if it's not too far away from the condo we're staying in, maybe we could go and check that out.
Okay,
I think that would be pretty cool.
According to the search that I just searched now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dirt tracks. Some of these are motocross tracks.
Yeah.
But I mean, it depends on there's at least one on almost every island, whether it be a ATV or motocross. Let's see. Maui. Oh, here's one. Maui Raceway Park. It's an actual circle track. They're coming for me, guys. Okay, let's that's a Maui Raceway. Come on, let's go. There we go. Jeez, it's hard to find the website for this. It looks like it's also a drag strip as well, plus a dirt track.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think they race cars like we do on the main island or mainland, I should say. I think they do a lot of like the Hornet classes, I believe, and stuff.
Maui. Let's see. Let's go back to Maui again real quick. If it'll let me. Okay. Would it be track rules? Nope.
So
let's see. Anyway, there's a few. You'll just have to do a little bit more research, but it looks like there is a few.
Yeah.
So, again, anything else you guys say about dirt track racing and or Riverman hockey?
No, like I said, I'll recap. Like I said, they won 3-0 on Sunday. Join us Saturday, hopefully at 3:00. If anything changes, I'll let you know because it's supposed to be nice on Saturday, so I might be up on a roof or putting in installation or something on Saturday in the house that we're remodeling. So hopefully at 3:00 on Saturday, we'll talk a little bit more about hockey, and then get ready for the big weekend against Knoxville next weekend.
So yeah, so for Big Ben and Ty and Wade, which is he had prior commitments, we'll see you Saturday at 3, and watch our pages or on social medias to learn about any for information. And yeah, so until then, see you guys later.
See you guys.